Hey everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP for You. If you haven't watched part 1 of the adjustments window video, then I encourage you to do that because I'm going to move on with part 2. And so we talked about these tools up here and what the adjustments window is. So next we're going to move on to the vibrance tool. And so I'm just going to left click on that. And again, it's going to put the layer over top of my background layer so that I'm not working directly on my background layer, which is good so that I can make changes to my picture and I can delete them if I don't like them. So up here it's changed again so that I can work on the adjustment itself. Now the vibrance is not as intense as the saturation. You can see if we move this right that it adds more vibrance, and again left takes some of that away. We're going to compare though, and the same is with the saturation. If I move this right, it adds more. If I move it left, it takes away. So we can compare here. We can put the vibrance at 30, and you can see the change that's made there. It's there, but it's kind of subtle. But the saturation at 30 is a lot more intense. So you can see the difference between the two. Next we have hue and saturation. This is a little bit different. We can again work with the saturation, but we can also kind of change the colors of things. And so here we have, we're on the master mode, which means we're working on the whole picture. And you can see as I scroll through here how the hue changes, how it changes the entire picture. Let's put this back at 0. And again, the saturation, we already know that was boosting the colors. Or if we were to pull this all the way back, you could make a black and white picture. And we have the lightness here, which again, this way would be pure white and this way would be pure black. You would want to do this very subtly using that adjustment. Let's move down here to the yellows. You can see as I boost the saturation here, it works mostly here on the pumpkin because the pumpkin orange is kind of a hue of yellow. So we can see here, we can play with the individual colors as we go through here. You could make the hue, you could make the pumpkin more orange by changing the hue. You can see how our pumpkin is now more orange than it was before. And so that would be an example of how you could use the hue tool in a more practical situation. So next we have color balance. And again, this is a nice tool that you can use to manipulate colors. You can play with the shadows, the midtones, or the highlights, and you can just kind of move these sliders around to get a pretty unique look to your picture. The next we have black and white, and so the black and white tool is pretty cool because you can make a black and white photo, but you can give it a lot of depth and dimension by playing with these sliders and using them to kind of create the black and white that is best for your photo. And again, up here you have some of these little presets that you can click on and use those to quickly make a change to your photo. The next we have a photo filter, and the photo filters are pretty cool because they add some color to your picture. We can do a warming filter. We have options from cooling filters. We can just do a color, sepia tone. If you don't like the available options, then you can come down here and you can click on color, and you can double click on this, and this box is going to appear, and you can add the filter of your choice. We can play with this for our hue, and then once you're kind of like, okay, I want a version of this pink, then you can kind of click around up here, and this color that's in this box will be the one that you are selecting. When you're satisfied with the color that's in this top box, then you can press OK, and you will see it down here. The density is how much or how little of the filter that you are using. So if I were to pull this right, then I'm going to get more, and if I were to pull it left, then I would get less. And the next one here is the channel mixer, which again is another one of those tools that you use to manipulate colors with. And so you can kind of play with those. You can play with red, green, and blue. Up here we have some black and white presets, and if you want to create your own black and white, you just check this monochrome box. So thank you for watching part 2 of my adjustment window series. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Happy editing!